The bills and the sponsors that we have here today is just a touch, just a small indication of the work that's been going on in the Senate this year towards climate issues, workforce development, and water infrastructure. So these bills are definitely a priority, as the Senate President said, to many members in the Senate, and we could be here all day talking about all of the important initiatives and bills that are coming forward through the Senate. So I really am appreciative of all of my colleagues who've embraced these issues, who recognize that climate change is real, who realizes that we can take what is a hindrance and turn it into an opportunity for our state to help lead by example and find our strengths to move us forward through this challenge. To serve as a foundation for today's conversation, we've just chosen a sampling of some of those bills, focusing in 3 key areas around renewable energy, workforce development, and water infrastructure. All of these bills play not only a role in climate mitigation and resiliency, but also helping us recognize building a green economy for our future and for working people. Expanding our production of and reliance on renewable energy is essential, not just for the climate crisis, but as we are seeing in an international geopolitical system where the exploitation and volatility of the oil market has been playing havoc on consumer prices. President Ruggiero's renewable energy standard legislation is a benchmark, important, critical step for us to take this year to help advance that conversation here in Rhode Island. Codifying into state law the goals of Governor Raimondo's previous executive order calling for all of Rhode Island's electricity to come from renewable energy sources by 2030. As was mentioned, I have a bill about offshore wind procurement as one way for us to advance that 100% goal. Rhode Island's been a leader in offshore wind, and we need to continue to build on that momentum. Again, not only is this a climate crisis issue, it's a workforce issue. The potential of wind as a power source is also a job creator. This legislation is going to require issuing a request for proposals for 600 megawatts of new offshore wind capacity and sets a framework for responsibly developed offshore wind. The $300 million school bond bill sponsored by Senator Gallo also seeks a significant investment in Rhode Island's future. Not only will this bond help us create a 21st century learning environment for our children, it will also help us realize our climate goals by including pathways to net zero and significant incentives for the school districts who engage in those green construction efforts. So the resulting energy efficiency improvements will help us reduce electricity consumption, lower our carbon footprint, and help us reach our renewable energy goals. These renewable energy bills, as I said, will help create economic activity and jobs across Rhode Island. Of course, these proposals also require a workforce that's trained in new technologies and equipped to meet the needs of our energy future. President Ruggiero has also introduced legislation to establish renewable energy labor standards, which will bring the quality and expertise of union labor to green energy projects. This proposal would apply to all projects larger than 2 megawatts, and it would also incorporate apprenticeships. The President has also submitted legislation to make the Real Jobs Rhode Island program permanent. Over the next several years, Real Jobs has successfully connected workers directly with industries in which they are needed. It provides people with the training and skills they need to fill available positions, and it will help us create a workforce pipeline for this new green economy. Similarly, Senator Quesada has introduced a bill to create registered apprenticeships for workers who apply corrosion prevention materials to vital parts of our infrastructure. This legislation exemplifies ways we can build up our workforce, ensuring that work done in Rhode Island meets the highest standards of quality and safety. Now, it's my pleasure to introduce Senator Sosnowski, who will outline some of the water infrastructure proposals we have before us in the Senate. I really want to acknowledge Sue. Chair Sosnowski is a great friend and colleague who had the mantle of the chair of the Environment and Agriculture Committee before I was in the Senate, and has been big shoes to fill. So it's been a pleasure to work with her on all of these efforts. And over to you, Chair Sosnowski.